The shelf life of platelets are only 5 to 7 days, so they are constantly needed.
Cancer patients use a lot of platelets. With Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, we go through a lot of platelets.
So I'm excited to see you maximize your donation to the absolute fullest. Let's get going. The whole process is roughly the same. You'll register, you'll do the quick pass, and you'll do the screening inside the screening room.
Just like with whole blood, make sure you're well hydrated, eat like 2 hours before you come in.
We're talking about like a good hearty meal that consists of protein, carbohydrates, and sodium. It's really important to not have aspirin for 48 hours because aspirin will make the platelets less active. We will be taking platelets from you and giving you back the other components in your body, which are the red cells and the plasma, mixed in with some anticoagulant solution. We use the apheresis machine, which is a Trima device. Throughout the process, we're gonna have you squeeze on the little squishy ball, and you'll do that about every 10 to 12 seconds, kind of like a heartbeat.
When it's drawing, you're gripping the gripper, and then when it's returning, you just sit back and relax.
So the draw is happening, the machine is spinning everything to separate your platelets from your red blood cells. It's gonna keep your platelets and it's gonna return everything else back to you.
You're looking about an hour and a half, 2 hours of draw and return like that. Platelets are a very small particle, so if you look inside the centrifuge, there's a belt in there where the blood goes. And if you look at a cross section of it, it would look like a dam. So all the red cells are up against the dam, and then the platelets just kind of fly over the top.
Now, throughout the visit, the draws and returns will happen and clearing of the chamber will happen because it's important for you to get the blood that has been producing in the machine and the centrifuge back. When it becomes low draw, just squeeze on the squishy just a little bit more to allow the draw pressure to build back up.
If anything needs to be adjusted, it will let both the tech and the donor know.
The alarming, a lot of it has to do with your veins not quite keeping up with the machine. So the machine's saying, hey, maybe grip a little faster and we can try to keep up with it. There's certain tricks that we can use, like putting a heating pad on the arm, tilting you back, and those will help reduce the alarms.
Based on your platelet count sample, which they take during either a whole blood visit or your platelet visit, we extract a new sample to allow for us to get an average of how many platelets you have. The low amount is what we call a single, which is a 4.4 unit, and you can go as high as a 10.6 unit, which is called a triple. And there's no good or bad.
We will let you know what is the minimum amount that you can donate and how long that takes, and what the maximum amount that you can donate and what that takes. So you'll have options. So long as we get you to the minimum amount with a usable unit, you can choose to stop after that, so you are always in control. We really try and make you feel really comfortable, so we're going to set you up with the blanket, with pillows, heating pads if you need that, and we also can set you up with a tablet so you'll be able to watch Netflix or play games or listen to music. There are some very experienced donors that bring a book or their laptop or their own tablet.
I've had some people play the Nintendo Switch. I've got lots of teachers that great homework when they're here. Lots of people just like to people watch and watch the people come in and, you know, smile to the donors that had just given.
Some of the most frequent side effects of donating is a tingling sensation.
The anticoagulant that we use will bind up with the calcium that's free in your body. And if there ends up being a deficit of calcium, that's when you start feeling the tingling in the lips, that type of thing. What I tell folks is if you feel anything strange at all, just flag us down and we'll get you some Tums, or we can turn down the anticoagulant as well. And a lot of folks will eat something that's calcium rich to get that calcium in your system so you don't need Tums.
Different people experience different things, so you may not experience any of the need to have additional calcium.
I'd say the biggest complaint I hear is a stiff arm from being out there that long. And then, like myself, when I donated, it just kind of wore me out. I just had to take a nap afterwards, and then I was fine.
When you have that cool sensation come back to you, that's just because your blood has had just barely enough time to cool down while it goes through the centrifuge to give you back the other components. If we keep your arm warm, it's very unlikely that you'll feel kind of a more cooler sensation, but it is possible. But there should be never ever any pain or burning.
If you feel anything strange at all, just flag us down and we'll take care of you. Remember, you're always in control. At any time you can say, you know what, I'm done. We just want you to be comfortable. We want repeat donors.
You can donate platelets every 7 days, so 24 times a year. So even coming in twice a month is a huge, huge help.
You can mix and match your donations and give platelets and whole blood if you wanted. It is important for you to be on time to your appointment, and if you are running late, there's like a 15-minute grace period. Each appointment is every 2 hours, and if the process time is 2 hours, being on time for your appointment and us getting you on time for your appointment is most ideal.
Being willing to try it for your first time is a huge, huge deal. You learn so much from it, and then you know how you can fit that into your schedule, whether it's once a month, twice a month more, or every other month, that helps. And then for our frequent donors that do have that time for them to come in, we see some that come in 3 times a month, some do get that for a month, and to them, I just appreciate their time and their kindness. They come in for the cookies, I like to think, but them just being there, it just really brightens our day that they continue to come back.